So far during this lecture, we have covered quite a lot. So from the very beginning, we went through what is important about Docker and the commands in the normal using the Docker command line interface. We showed how we can build and destroy containers within a short amount of time, how we can pull containers down. And after that, we taught about Dockerfile, which is how we started to build our own images. Now, after building our own image, if we may want to so-called instantiate various images at the same time, one way is definitely to run various images manually, but Docker in fact has a slightly or rather a much more elegant way of doing it, which they call Docker-compose. So what Docker-compose does is that it allows you to not only run various and sort of plan how your containers should come on and come off during your entire when you are instantiating all your containers, but it even allows you to build your own containers from the Dockerfile as well. So you can imagine, let's say if you are onboarding to a new project or you have a new team member coming in, in fact he just needs to run 2 command lines to be up to speed with the entire programming environment. The 2 command lines will be that of the git pull from your GitHub, and the second line will be the Docker compose up in order to get the exact same environment as what your entire team is currently running on. And this really shows the strength and the power of Docker when it comes to onboarding, offboarding new people, or even in generating new environments or testing out new environments to be used in your for development. So or rather for both development and especially for production. And it is no longer the case whereby doing that will cost a lot of time. In fact, using these containers, they in fact become extremely pain-free. And yeah, so today rather carrying on, we'll be talking about Docker Compose, and this will be the various things to be looking at. Docker Compose essentially, so for Dockerfile, it is a single file that they call Dockerfile, and you have the commands there. In Docker Compose, it is also a single file, and they call it a YAML file. I don't know is it the right pronunciation, but it's a YAML file. The name of it is case sensitive, and you put it as docker-compose.yml. So that is a Docker Compose file. Within this Docker Compose file, you will see the following. These are some of the typical things that you will see. The first line will be that of the version number of the YAML file. So if you don't put it, it will default to version 1, which is not very good. So usually you put 2 or 3 or 3.1 right now. So you can put for this one, this is a sample one that I did, version 3. And the next line will be that of the services. For services, you want to include various things like the service name. Oh, sorry. So for services, they hold a list of the services, and you can think about it as hold a list of containers. Why? Because essentially every single container is a service by itself. So you have, like in the earlier example of WordPress, we have a container containing that of the WordPress image. We also have a container containing that of the MySQL image. So essentially you have a service that is running MySQL and another service that is running WordPress. So these in fact form the list of containers or the list of services that you are going to run. So for each service, you're going to have the list of services, and you have the service name, which is very similar to your Docker run -- name. So you're going to put the name of the service or the name of the container over here. This is an optional line which is built. So it will be the path of where your Docker file resides in. If you are building something from a predefined image, then naturally you wouldn't need this. But if you are building this from Dockerfile, then you will need to put something there. You have that of the image name, which is the name of the image if you are downloading it from Docker Hub. The ports that you are going to be mapped from the host to the container, and it is similar to your -p. So this will be that of your host, and this will be that of your container. Networks, and this will be the network where the service belongs to, which is again similar to the _ network. If you want, you can define other things like the networks. So it's optional. Unless we are creating our new networks here, we don't need to put this. There'll be another line or rather there's another optional line there called volumes. Once again, for volume, we will delay the explanation for volume to the final portion. But right now, we just concentrate on this current YAML file. Okay, so now we're going to show an example how this works. And what we're going to do is we're going to open a Drupal container together with a database container, and in this time round we're going to use the Postgres container. And so to do this, I created first a file called docker-compose.yml in a folder called docker Drupal. And how to do this is that easiest way is to go over to dockerhub.docker.com and go to search for Drupal. Many times they may have a version of that sitting there somewhere, and let's see if there is something there or not. Then yep, here we have. So we already have a version that is here, but let's type this out because it's better to I think we only need version 3. Okay, let's do this. Try to do this from memory. Services, and then we also have an image, and we also have the ports, and this will be what else do we have? Let's see what else we have. Image, ports, networks. I think that should be it, and we need to have service name, services, and this should be, let's see, temp Drupal, and this will be image, Drupal, and what am I doing? Ports. This would be let's go back to the document. 80 to 80 to 80. So does this say 8-Apache networks? Let's use temp network, and the other one will be temp excuse me, Postgres. Image will be post, their version number, Postgres 10. I don't think I need to, but expose the port, but I need to say about the password. I believe, yes, Postgres password equals 1 2 3 4 5 JSON format. Postgres password. Okay. Maybe you want to have the networks. This So should be temp network, and over here works, you can have a temp network driver bridge. I think this should be fine. Compose up. Mapping values are not around here. 9312. Oh, let's do this. Oh, okay. So it is currently running. My Docker compose file, oh, it's ready to accept connections. So okay, so right now we can go over to localhost at port 8080. Oh, and I can see that it's working. Okay, turned out to be not so hard. So Postgres database username for Postgres by default is Postgres. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Advanced options. My host temp Postgres. Okay, so success. So we managed to install Drupal. Okay, while it's installing, I'd like to just give a very short summary of what we accomplished so far. So we managed to create our own, for this part of the lectures, we managed to create our own Dockerfile to create images. We also created our own Docker Compose, so that allowed us to link between, or rather to instantiate a few containers at the same time. What's going to happen next is that we are going to conclude this part of the lecture series over here, but what is going to happen is we will then have e-labs for this week. So we are going to have in the e-labs, which you will get soon, you'll be doing two things. One thing will be writing your own Docker file, and the other thing will be doing your own Docker Compose. After you are done with that, I will release the solution on YouTube as well. And in that solution, subsequently we'll talk about volumes. In that volumes, you will then realize how you can dynamically edit your code and have the code show up in real time on your Docker container. Okay, let's continue with this before I complete. So site name will be temp docker. This will be my email. Let's put my name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Let's do this. Singapore. 马住咯，新加坡吧。So we are there. So that's it. Thank you.